Everyone's done this before, right? We've got a nod, and then Elizabeth. I've seen that name before for sure. So I will not give an explanation. We'll just do the practice. So in the space in front of you, imagine the refuge field, which is composed of the Buddha, surrounded by Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And everyone is animated, so they're dynamic, kind of living, but they're made of light, so they're kind of brilliant. And they're seated on cushions, and they're teaching the Dharma. And surrounding you are all living beings. So on your right is your father and the lineage of your fathers. And then to the left is your mother and lineage of your mothers. And stretching out behind you into infinity is the continuity of your lives, all in the form of humans, seated on cushions. And directly behind you are the people for whom you have the most clinging attachment. And in front of you are the people who are the so-called enemies, the people whom you have more difficult feelings toward. And in the space in between are all beings that you don't naturally pay that much attention to, so neutral beings. Everyone's in the form of a human, because humans are considered a great opportunity to practice spirituality. And you take responsibility for guiding all these beings in this practice. And you think to yourself, if I don't change, then I will be trapped in my personal cycle of suffering infinitely or eternally. And you think, if I don't escape from this cycle, then all these beings who have been kind to me as a mother, who have been kind to me directly and indirectly in various different ways, and they will continue their cycle of suffering. And you just generate a certain degree of healthy fear that you'll just continue these negative habits and people will just suffer endlessly unless you change and develop your spiritual qualities. And you acknowledge that the beings before you, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas before you, have traversed a path that have, by definition, are free from suffering. And so you develop a kind of trust or faith or, a relationship with these figures. Well, if I put my energy towards them, if I put my trust in them, then I will improve. And others will improve eventually as well. So you just develop this sense of trust and this desire to develop your qualities limitlessly, to become a Buddha yourself. And then we do the prayer. Janju Bordu Danye Gavzoji Yogi Janzo Gibe Zonam Jola Avengers and Jubosh Sage Jodan Zogi Jonam Janju Bordu Danye Gavzoji Yogi Janzo Gibe Zonam Jola Avengers and Jubosh Sangye Jodan Zogi Jonam Janju Bordu Danye Gavzoji Jagi Janzo Gibe Zonam Jula Penju Sangye Jubo Sho. Then you develop a sense of regret. So you kind of reflect on all the negative actions you've done today and in the recent past, in the far past. And you try and imagine, since if you believe in reincarnation or even have some some doubts that maybe it could exist, then you think, maybe I've engaged in countless destructive actions that harm myself and, more importantly, harm others. And you generate a sense of regret, the wish that you had never done those things, not a sense of guilt. So there's no moral judgment about it, just a regret. So I wish I hadn't done that. I just wish I hadn't done that because I understand the consequences for myself and the consequences for others. You think about all the killing, and you regret all that, and the stealing, and unwise sexual conduct. And the harsh speech and lying, and divisive speech and gossip. I may not have done that in the right order. And then malice, ill will towards people, and covetousness and wrong views, kind of not believing in things that exist and believing in things that don't exist. And you generate that sense of regret. And if you have a prayer beads, you can even just use them and just say, I regret that, 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 I regret that. And then you visualize above the crown of your head, seated upon a lotus and moon seat, are Vajrasattva, father and mother. Their bodies are white. Each has one face and two arms. He holds a dorje and bell, and she a curved knife and skull cup. They are embracing each other. The father is adorned with 6 mudras, the mother with 5. He sits in the Vajra posture, she in the lotus. Vajrasattva is your root guru, the holy mind of all the Buddhas, the Dharmakaya, who out of his or her unbearable compassion, which embraces you and all other sentient beings, appears in this form to purify yourself and all others. On a moon disk of Vajrasattva's heart stands a hum, encircled by the garland of a 100-syllable mantra, of the 100-syllable mantra. A powerful stream of white nectar flows from the hum and mantra garland, and I am cleansed. We are cleansed of all sickness, spirit harm, negative karma, and obscurations. So with that visualization, we'll do the mantra. Oh, Vajrasattva SAMAYA MANUPALAYA Vajrasattva DENOPHA SUTO ANURAKTO SARVA Karma TSAME SHRIYAM KURU BHAGAVAN TATHAGATA Vajrasattva SAMAYA MANUPALAYA Vajrasattva DENOPHA ANURAKTO SHRIYAM KURU BHAGAVAN TATHAGATA VAJRA Om Vajrasattva SAMAYA MANUPALAYA Vajrasattva DENOPHA SUPO ANURAKTO TSAME SHRIYAM KURU BHAGAVAN TATHAGATA VAJRA Om Vajrasattva SAMAYA MANUPALAYA Vajrasattva DENOPHA SHRIYAM KURU Bhagavan Sarvadagata Vajramam Om Vajrasattva SAMAYA MANUPALAYA Vajrasattva DENOPHA SHRIYAM KURU Bhagavan Sarvadagata Vajramam Om Vajrasattva SAMAYA MANUPALAYA Vajrasattva DENOPHA ANURAKTO SARVASINI SARVAKARMA TSAME SHRIYAM KURU Bhagavan Sarvadagata Vajramam Om Vajrasattva SAMAYA MANUPALAYA Vajrasattva DENOPHA ANURAKTO SARVASINI SARVAKARMA TSAME SHRIYAM KURU Bhagavan Sarvadagata Vajramam Om Vajrasattva SAMAYA MANUPALAYA Vajrasattva DENOPHA ANURAKTO SARVASINI SARVAKARMA TSAME SHRIYAM KURU Bhagavan Sarvadagata Vajramam Om Vajrasattva SAMAYA MANUPALAYA Vajrasattva DENOPHA ANURAKTO SARVASINI SARVAKARMA TSAME SHRIYAM KURU Bhagavan Sarvadagata Vajramam SAMAYA MANUPALAYA Vajrasattva DENOPHA ANURAKTO SARVASINI SARVAKARMA TSAME SHRIYAM KURU Bhagavan Sarvadagata Vajramam Om Vajrasattva SAMAYA MANUPALAYA Vajrasattva DENOPHA ANURAKTO SARVASINI SARVAKARMA TSAME SHRIYAM KURU Bhagavan Sarvadagata Vajramam Om Vajrasattva SAMAYA MANUPALAYA Vajrasattva DENOPHA ANURAKTO SARVASINI SARVAKARMA TSAME SHRIYAM KURU Bhagavan Sarvadagata Vajramam Om Vajrasatva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasatva DENOPHA Jithameva Sudagayameva Subhagayameva ANURAKTO Sarvasijam appears as our government system. Synergy and Guru Hum Ha Ha Hu Bhagavan Sarvasatagata Vajramami Vajravam Asmai Om Om Vajrasatva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasatva DENOPHA Jithameva Sudagayameva Subhagayameva ANURAKTO Sarvasijam appears as our government system. Synergy and Guru Hum Aho Bhagavan Sarvasatagata Vajramami Vajravam Asmai Om Vajrasatva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasatva DENOPHA Jithameva Subhagayameva ANURAKTO Sarvasijam appears as our government system. Synergy and Guru Hum Aho Bhagavan Sarvasatagata Vajramami Vajravam Asmai Om Vajrasatva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasatva DENOPHA Jithameva Sudagayameva Subhagayameva ANURAKTO Sarvasijam appears as our government system. Synergy and Guru Hum Aho Bhagavan Sarvasatagata Vajramami Vajravam Asmai Om Vajrasatva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasatva DENOPHA Jithameva Sudagayameva Subhagayameva ANURAKTO Sarvasijam appears as our government system. Synergy and Guru Hum Aho Bhagavan Sarvasatagata Vajramami Vajravam Asmai Om Vajrasatva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasatva DENOPHA Jithameva Sudagayameva Subhagayameva ANURAKTO Sarvasijam appears as our government system. Synergy and Guru Hum Aho Bhagavan Sarvasatagata Vajramami Vajravam Asmai Om Vajrasatva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasatva DENOPHA Jithameva Sudagayameva Subhagayameva ANURAKTO Sarvasijam appears as our government system. Synergy and Guru Hum Aho Bhagavan Sarvasatagata Vajramami Vajravam Asmai Om Vajrasatva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasatva DENOPHA Jithameva Sudagayameva Subhagayameva ANURAKTO Sarvasijam appears as our government system. Synergy and Guru Hum Aho Bhagavan Sarvasatagata Vajramami Vajravam Asmai Om Om Vajrasatva 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 Think, from the crown of my head, Guru Vajrasattva says, son or daughter of the race, your negativities, obscurations, and broken damaged pledges have been completely purified. Before Guru Vajrasattva, I vow never again to commit those negative actions from which I can easily abstain, and to not commit for a day, an hour, at least a few seconds, those negative actions from which I find it difficult to abstain. Guru Vajrasattva is extremely pleased with your pledge. Guru Vajrasattva, father and mother, dissolve into light, descends to the crown of your head, to the third eye region, filling your body with white light, purifying all your obscurations created with the body. And descends to the throat, filling your body with red light, purifying all the obscurations created through speech. And descends to the center of your chest, your filling your body with blue light, purifying all the obscurations created by mind, associated with the mind. And you imagine all those colors happening all at once, purifying all the obscurations, negative karmas created by body, speech, and mind. You imagine all yourself and all beings arise clear as crystal, with no trace of negative karma or obscuration. and because all beings are purified. There's no suffering or negativity anywhere in the universe. And you just rest in that state of kind of purity, if you will. And you think all this negative karma, or pardon me, all this positive karma, all these positive actions will be wasted if I don't dedicate them to a greater cause. So I acknowledge that the agent, that's my, us, the agent, so the doer of the action itself, and the karma created does not exist inherently in the ultimate analysis, and conventionally exists in mere thought and name. And then dedicate to long lives of all your spiritual teachers. May they have long lives and continuously teach the Dharma. From your side, may you always see the best in their positive qualities, and may you always work to help their wishes come true to the best of your ability. And then may we never be separated from the four wheels of the Mahayana vehicle, the path of renunciation, bodhicitta, pure view and emptiness, and the two stages of tantric practice. May we never be separated from the teachings of Lama Tsongkhapa, if we have a connection with Lama Tsongkhapa, and then all the other Tibetan Buddhist schools, Nyingma, Sakya Kagyu. May all the environmental problems of this earth instantly cease, in order that those who practice the Dharma may continue to practice peace. Those who are about to begin practicing the Dharma may begin in peace, and those who yet to hear the Dharma may hear it in peace. May all wars, quarreling, fighting, oppression, famines, disease, may it instantly cease. May all those things instantly cease because of our practice. May all those that think about us, remember us, dream of us, speak to us, hear our voices, see our bodies, hear images, speak our names, touch our bodies, like us, love us, hate us, hurt us up to the point of killing us. May they never be born in lower realms. May they never be born in lower realms. May they meet Mahayana teachers and friends, and may become completely enlightened in that very moment. May all non-human beings, animals, insects, and then pretas, hell beings, gods, demigods, and all the other beings, may they be free from every kind of suffering, have every kind of happiness, and become Buddhas in this very moment. And may every mundane wish that people have come into fruition. So people need food, clothing, shelter, money, medicine, so forth. May every being have what they need. And if we ever have an opportunity to provide them, then may we not hesitate to do that, if at all possible. And then people have spiritual goals. They want to become nuns and monks, memorize texts, study texts, receive teachings, go on retreat, meet teachers, build holy objects, and so forth, many things to do. May they have all those dreams come into fruition. And if we ever have the ability to help someone accomplish those dreams, then may we not hesitate to the best of our ability to help them. And then many beings have died or have started dying or have found out that they're going to die very soon, as we've just in this half hour that we've been doing this practice. So may they be instantly free from their disease and cured. And if that's impossible, may they transition into the bardo peacefully and become a Buddha there. And if that's impossible, then may they be reborn human, meet qualified Mahayana teachers and friends, become Buddhas in that very moment, in that very lifetime. And may all institutions like Tutu Norbuling, Maitripa College is the center I'm most affiliated with, and all FPMT centers and all the other Buddhist centers and different groups in the world that teach spiritual paths. May they have every kind of resource they need: money, praise, volunteer time, leadership, anything you can think of. May they have that, because they need it in order to help people change their minds and to grow spiritually. May they have every resource they need. And at the very least, no matter what happens in our lives, whether we become Buddhist, whether we stay Buddhist, whether we stop, at the very least, no matter what, maybe we have a warm heart, a kind heart, brave heart, gentle heart, all the kinds of hearts you can think of, because all this ritual, all these images, all this effort is at the very least for those things. So yeah. So it's 8:45. Thank you very much. It's nice seeing your little squares. keep going with your Vajrasattva practice, and I will see you next week.
Thank you so
Okay.
much, Michael.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Good night.
You're welcome.
Thank you.